You're watching UATV News. My name is Ina Kosinska. Good evening. The Minsk Agreement should be implemented by all parties and according to the agreed schedule. This was stated by President Volodymyr Zelenskyy following a working trip to Donetsk region. The head of state noted that the political consultants of the leaders of the Normandy 4 states have developed a plan for the implementation of the Minsk Agreements. According to Volodymyr Zelenskyy, the Minsk Agreements are the only way to a peaceful resolution of this war. Could it happen soon? We don't know. But we are working on this in Berlin, in Paris and in Ukraine. I hope we will see the end of this war. Volodymyr Zelenskyy, together with the ambassadors of 6 countries, visited the positions of Ukrainian servicemen near Avdiivka and Sumy. According to the president, diplomats should know what is happening in Donbas and what consequences the hostilities have led to.
Our constant visits make it possible to understand that the army is in a normal condition. It is strong and psychologically strong in particular. This is also very important. The enemy knows how we treat and support our army.
The USA will not revise sanctions against Russia due to the ongoing aggression in Donbas and the occupation of Crimea. This was stated by the political coordinator of the US mission to the United Nations. The United States also calls UN members to join the Ukrainian Crimea Platform initiative to counter the aggressor country.
Russia escalated its oppression of any dissent to its brutal occupation of Crimea. The United States continues to condemn the human rights abuses taking place under Russia's repressive occupation. We urge Russia to release the more than 100 Ukrainian political prisoners it is holding and to end its campaign of intimidation against Crimean Tatars and opponents of their occupation.
Ukraine is preparing materials for the office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights on Ecocide in Crimea. According to head of the Crimean Tatar Resource Center, Eskandar Bariev, it concerns the destruction of plants and animals, air pollution, as well as the depletion of water resources. As a result of the irrational policy of the occupation authorities, water losses on the peninsula make about 60%.
Occupation authorities of Crimea started redistributing the water from the natural flows of river, and this also has negative effects. Another reason is the ongoing military training, which is also wasting large volumes of water. Moreover, the military exercises did not stop even in dry 2020. There was little rain, and accordingly, this is also a big problem. The next problem is the overpopulation of Crimea. When apartment buildings are built, they should be provided with water as well.
The EU will expand the technical assistance program to Ukraine by 800,000 euros. This was announced by Vice President of the European Commission, Maros Šefčovič. According to him, in the nearest future, they plan to expand partnership with Ukraine in the supply of raw materials. "4,773 new cases of COVID-19 were recorded in Ukraine during the past day. Ivano-Frankivsk and Lviv regions are the leaders in daily growth. 2,000 people were hospitalized, while 7,211 recovered. According to the Ministry of Health, 117,000 doses of Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine will be delivered to the country in February, and up to 3,700,000 doses of AstraZeneca are expected in the first half of the year.
The first will be the AstraZeneca vaccine procured at public expense. Next week we are expecting 2 products to arrive. There are also questions about the supply of Pfizer vaccine, which we receive as a part of the global COVAX initiative, which is supplied to Ukraine free of charge. Vaccination in Ukraine will be voluntary and free of charge. We will do our best to provide access to high-quality and safe vaccines.
86 Ukrainian settlements remain deprived of electricity supply due to winds and snow. Harsh weather conditions continue for the 5th day almost throughout the country. A day off was announced in Lviv. Up to meters of snow fell there. In Cherkasy, kindergartens and schools were partially closed. Lviv and Volyn regions limited the movement of trucks. At night, rescuers pulled 254 vehicles out of the snowdrifts, including 5 ambulances. In the capital, heavy snowfall impeded the traffic, despite the fact that utilities are working in an enhanced mode.
It's been 3 or 4 days since it started snowing. I come to shift at 8 in the morning. A friend changes and an electrician helps. When there are 3 of us, we can deal with snow. We also have a snowplow. Where it is hard, we use the machine.
Roads are under control. The Ministry of Internal Affairs claims that the number of traffic accidents has decreased 3 times. Mostly in those places where cameras for automatic photo and video recording of traffic violations were installed. The ministry summed up the results of the 8 months of the system's work.
Ruslan has been driving for 4 months. During this time, he managed to get 3 fines for speeding. 2 because of my imprudence. I didn't notice the sign of the settlement and drove at high speed like outside the city. Ruslan says he received notifications of the fine on his smartphone within an hour. It can be paid online. I have a Telegram bot in my phone that shows me fines, and I can actually pay them at the bank also with the telephone. Over the 8 months of operation of the automatic system, cameras recorded 1,300,000 speeding incidents, the Internal Ministry informs. $7,470,000 of fines were paid to the Ukrainian budget. More than 80% of traffic rules violators pay those fines. By the way, in many European countries this figure is lower, making some 30–40%. The first 20 cameras were set in Kyiv last June. A few dozen more were installed on highways in area with the highest concentration of road accidents. Law enforcers say it has become safer there. The automatic video system has proven its effectiveness in the places where cameras were installed. And indeed, road accidents, including lethal ones, decreased 3 times. This is a great achievement. Kyiv drivers say many people keep the speed limit before the cameras. But they add, auto-fixing cannot solve all problems on the road. 90–95% slow down before cameras. After that, they go as they want further. In order to re-educate our drivers, we probably need something else. In order to make roads safer, officials plan to enlarge the number of video cameras. The State Agency for Infrastructure Projects of Ukraine says they have already purchased and sent new systems to the Ministry of Internal Affairs. In 2020, we bought 220 automatic fixation systems. Now the process of the transfer is underway for further installation on public roads of national importance and in dangerous areas as well. By the end of 2021, we plan to purchase another 125 complexes. Soon the so-called phantoms, petrol cars with auto-fix function in motion, will appear. The first batch of vehicles and equipment for them has already been transferred to the Ministry of Internal Affairs. There is a patrol car that does not have color schemes. An integrated system has been installed which can do the check even in motion and identify the offender, check it against databases. He can be stopped because it has already been fixed, or he can get a fine via automatic system. 4 cars are now equipped with special radars and will be launched for testing. After that, in 2021–2023, we plan to purchase up to 100 such cars. Besides, new features will soon be added to the fixed cameras. For example, from February 15, one of the complexes in Kyiv will automatically register cars at the public transport lanes. Reported by Roman Smoler, Yulia Krючкова, UATV News.
Freedom Square in Mariupol, Odessa Food Market, Art Boulevard in Dnipro and media sculpture in one of the capital's residential complexes. 4 Ukrainian projects became winners of the International Light Design Competition Light and Design Awards 2020 among 350 applicants. How the street lighting in Dnipro has impressed the judges, our correspondents know.
3 gestures and movements. Any passerby can create 3-dimensional images on interactive screen in the center of Dnipro. This is artistic drawing. 120 lamps were installed along the boulevard. They change color and project patterns on the road. Designers have been working on the design for over a year to create a harmonious atmosphere, architects and lighting. This is not just lighting for function, but lighting design with a deep understanding of architecture. And synergy with the authors of the project is very important. The pleasant and colorful architecture was laid out. The project is designed so that the lighting can change depending on holidays and seasons. Initially, it was planned to create a very specific environment in terms of lighting design, since we understand that the boulevard starts to, so to say, work actively in the evening, and I want to create a special evening atmosphere for this space. Photos and videos on the boulevard were sent to the international competition for architectural and lighting design, and they received the award in the category Landscape Lighting. 40 countries were among the competitors. It was a truly professional work. It was appreciated by not only our fellow countrymen, but by the professional jury in Los Angeles as well. Not only local residents and guests of the city can admire the illumination of the boulevard, but everyone willing to. A special website was created for this. Besides, among the winners of the lighting competition are Mariupol for lights at the Freedom Square, the Odessa Food Market for the best lighting of hotels and restaurants, and Media Sculpture in one of the residential complexes in Kyiv is the winner among interactive lighting projects. Reported by Roman Smoler, Natalia Husak, UATV News.
That's all for this hour. More updates on our official website, YouTube, Twitter and Facebook pages. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.